Would you like to hang out in the garden with me? I'm hearing some mixed reviews. Come if you want, you don't have to. So first up, I'm gonna be doing some composting. I'm not gonna talk about specifically how to do it, but I will link to this video that I use for a pretty basic composting recipe and just good gardening tips as well. Got some leaves on my lovely compost. These are my compost piles. Got the big one right there and then this little extra one that I just started using. It was some extra dirt. My favorite composting ingredient. I really enjoy composting. When I first started, I found it a bit of a hassle to get outside and to dig a bunch of dirt and move it around. But that's kind of the hardest part. It's quite a lot of physical effort, especially when your compost pile is as big as mine. I feel like we have a lot of food waste, and that's because I'm not the best at meal prepping, making sure I'm only buying enough groceries for the two of us, etc. Like, these are things that I'm learning. I'm working on meal prepping this year, so I noticed that I'm over making and we're not eating enough. Like, I'll just have so much that goes bad. So I'm trying to figure it out, and thankfully being able to compost feels a little less wasteful. Yes, I guess the food is wasted and gone bad in a sense, but at least I can use it to grow more food that hopefully will not go to waste, you know. So I pull out any rocks that I find so that my compost pile does go down into the ground quite a few inches. I would say no more than like a foot. But I do just kind of use the ground itself as a brown. I like doing the in-ground composting because of worms and everything. They help a lot. I used to put meat in there, but I don't anymore. It's time for lunch. So I cut myself on this day when I was trying to make lunch. Look like I got a little extra thumb. I was trying to make a tuna on some nice homemade crusty bread, and as I was sawing through this crusty bread and looking over to make sure that my cat was not getting into my tuna, I decided to use the bread knife and cut my fucking thumb instead of the bread, like an idiot. So today my goal was to get this 6x3 bed set up and ready for potatoes. And even though I cut myself, I was determined to finish this. I did have to have Jacob's help. He dug up some soil for me, and then he helped me get the water going. I put cardboard down there as a weed barrier, and now I'm soaking it so that I can still plant potatoes and stuff later, and hopefully the cardboard will break down. And also just it retains water. It's good for the bed, it's good for the vegetables. So here's me struggling to get this compost bag in this bed. And there was so many minutes of struggle that I cut out, but I just didn't. Oh my gosh, I'm just struggling to pull it open. I was just struggling. You can see I'm holding my thumb up because as I was standing there watering the bed, I felt like when I had my arm down, I could feel all the blood rushing to my thumb, like I could feel the swelling and whatever. So I spend the rest of the day with my thumb like an elevator like this. I look like I don't even know what. I got a friggin' chicken wing over there. But we're doing our best, okay? I'm doing my fucking best. And we got pretty far, I must say. So this is what we have right now. I want to fill it all the way to the top of this. So I'm gonna do a little bit more topsoil, just dug up from the yard. And then I've got half a bag, a little less than half a bag of compost to do on the top. I ended up getting this bed fully prepped. and ready for potatoes, but since I did cut myself, I got started on all these tasks later. I was just like, I'm done for the day. I'm done. I got the bed put together and I am gonna plant later. So Arkansas is notorious for its changes in weather. However, it is March, so I did know that some frost was going to be coming, some low temperatures. So I did go ahead and put out my greenhouse a few days later. And it was only going to be getting below freezing in the night and only for the next 2 or 3 days. But I did go ahead and put out my greenhouse just to make sure that my lettuce didn't get frozen and die, because I tried to plant lettuce earlier, it didn't get my greenhouse out, and so most everything died. Kale is the only thing that's still living, and then the seeds that didn't oh, what is it called when the seed fucking puts out? Anyway, the seeds that didn't develop the first time didn't get killed, so they're just now starting to sprout. So I do have some like romaine lettuce that I definitely don't want to die now in its fragile sprout state. Then the 2 beds in front of this, I don't have anything planted yet, so that 6x3 bed I prepped for potatoes, and then I have a 3x3 bed that I grew potatoes in last year, and I think this year I'm going to plant beets and broccoli in it. But I didn't cover them with a greenhouse on these days because there wasn't anything in them. It wasn't a sin. So I have some chives sitting on my porch, and they've survived throughout the winter as well. But anyway, I'm just using them to hold down the edges of my greenhouse because, as you can see, it's getting kind of windy. The wind brings the cold. I also have some of these concrete blocks that I'm using as well. So I've decided I want to plant some more seeds today because I'm just confident. I'm confident in my ability to watch the weather and put a greenhouse or greenhouse fabric over things if I need to. Anyway, beets. I'm gonna do beets. I'm gonna do potatoes. I have a bunch of beet varieties. Some of these seeds might be expired, so we're just gonna have to see what works and what doesn't. I will say I tried to do beets last year and nothing came up, and that might have been because I wasn't watering it enough. I have so many cucumber varieties as well. I would honestly love to do some broccoli, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and plant broccoli. I'm gonna plant 3 varieties of broccoli as well. I found out that my local library has like a seed trading box. You know how sometimes you'll have the book boxes where it's like take a book, leave a book. This one is take some seeds, leave some seeds. So I have a shit ton of seeds that I got from someone else, so I'm gonna try and give them to this library box. I'm gonna use what I want and then give the rest of them to the library, which I'm super excited for. I've let all my family members look through it, I've let all my friends look through it, so I'm getting my last pick, and then all the rest of them are gonna go. And there's so many varieties. There's plenty for everybody in the town. So I got these from the library box. I've never found these on my own. So this is a few days later after I put the greenhouse out. It's still out, but honestly on this day I could have taken it off because the temperature wasn't going to get below freezing. But I decided not to just because, I don't know, I was worried about it. But I was kind of worried about it, but I was also confident enough that I felt like I could put seeds and potatoes out without them dying. Like I can always put the greenhouse over them if I feel like I need to. So we'll see. I'm just trusting my gut, even though the groundhog did see his shadow and went back in his hole. I'm confident that we're not going to get any more below freezing temperatures here where I am. So in this bed, I'm just planting some beets and some broccoli. I only planted I planted probably 8 seeds, but only 4 spots for the broccoli because it said it needed 3 feet in between each plant. So I was just, and this is a 3x3 bed, so I just did 2. And then I put a bunch of beets out there. So far I haven't had luck with beets or broccoli, but I'm hoping that it'll work. I have, however, had a lot of luck with potatoes, so I am thankful that I have some of these that have chitted. They're chitted up. They're ready to go. So I'm sticking them out there. I'm bringing some wood ash over because I was watching a video the other day and they said that if you cut the potato and you put some wood ash on it, it's supposed to keep that side from rotting in the dirt. So I'm interested to see. And hopefully it works. I did end up cutting almost every potato that I planted. So if it doesn't work, we might not be getting potatoes. We'll see. We'll just have to see. I find planting to be very therapeutic. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Stay tuned for more garden updates and some more art updates as well. Thanks for watching.